I want to more shift focus towards young men, which is the red pill myths about women. This is going to be another spicy topic that we're going to get into. So I want to talk about one of the people that I would say for the longest time, thought very highly of, but now I'm really starting to judge quite a bit harshly. I wrote an article about this last week, I believe, or 2 weeks ago. I want to talk about Bill Belichick. So Bill Belichick, I'm a football junkie. For those who don't know me, I watch every NFL game I can. I watch every college football game I can. I'm a nerd for this kind of stuff. I'm a historian when it comes to football. I've watched so many just different I love it. It's my favorite thing. It's that and UFC is my Netflix and chill thing. Even though I'm not Netflix and chilling now, obviously I'm a Christian for one, and then I don't have a romantic partner right now, a girlfriend or a wife right now. So, anyways, but I'm a football nerd and a football junkie, and I loved, contrary to what a lot of people think, I love the New England Patriots because I love studying greatness. I love seeing what makes great people great. And Bill Belichick is now, I think, undisputedly the best coach in the history of the NFL, and he won 6 Super Bowls with the New England Patriots, obviously with large help with people like Tom Brady, obviously, and Julian Edelman and James White and Mike Vrabel and Willie McGinnis and Matt Light and all the people that were on, Randy Moss, even though Randy didn't win a Super Bowl when he was there. But he was helped by a lot of people, obviously. Football's a team game, as no, life is a team game. That's the football life quote. I got to go back and see that. But anyway, so Bill Belichick is he is the greatest coach in the history of the NFL. Won 2 Super Bowls as the defensive coordinator for Bill Parcells when those great New York Giants teams in the mid '80s with Lawrence Taylor and Phil Simms and all those guys won in the mid 1980s. So he's a 8-time Super Bowl champion, legendary NFL coach. And now he was in retirement for a while. He retired a couple of years ago as the head coach of the New England Patriots, and he just took the head coaching job at the University of North Carolina, which is very, very interesting because I don't know if Bill Belichick's going to work, but I am so excited to see if he does work. I actually think Bill Belichick could work, and that's another discussion for maybe another show, but I want to focus on Bill Belichick's personal life, which is very, very interesting. I never thought I'd be talking about Bill Belichick's personal life anyways, and I don't think anyone would. But he is now dating. Bill Belichick is about to be 73, or he's already 73, and he is now dating a 24-year-old young woman, former college cheerleader named Jordan Hudson. So he's dating this woman who, if you do the math, and I'm not very good at math, but she is a third of his age. He's 2/3 greater in terms of her age, which is wild. She was born at the math. She's born after, I think, the year he won his first Super Bowl in New England, which is 2001, which is bananas and insane, and we're going to be talking about all these things. But so the long story short with these two is that they met on a plane while she was studying philosophy in university. She asked for his autograph. They kept talking, and now she has been kind of his arm candy for the last year. She started getting kind of this amount of attention last year. They were at Tom Brady's Ring of Honor induction in the Patriots. He gave a great speech. If you haven't watched it, please watch it. It's so good. But this is a problem, but it's getting applauded by everyone in the men's community who is welcoming this debauchery, and this goes around with so many people that we're seeing this now inside of the men's space in terms of people who guys look up to, young men look up to. Andrew Tate, obviously, we talked about him last week. He's preached this message a lot. Michael Sartain, who's a very big men's manosphere influencer. He's dating like a 23-year-old woman. He's in his mid-40s. I'm good friends with a gentleman who actually worked for him for a while. His sexual degeneracy is appalling. Al Pacino is in his early 80s. I read his biography. It's a really good biography. It's a very sad biography, honestly. I didn't really enjoy reading it. It was very sad, even though I don't think that's the way Pacino meant. And I love Al Pacino, by the way. He's my favorite actor. I love all of his movies. He just had a child with a 29-year-old woman. Hugh Hefner, into his 90s, was basically a pimp and a sexual degenerate for his entire life. And again, Belichick, all of these guys, they have attached themselves to women far younger than themselves because they're playing this kind of weird status game. So the narrative around this is that having a ridiculously young, bombshell, attractive younger woman as an older guy is high status behavior. This is high status behavior. This is something you should be looked up to for. You should say, I want to be like that person. I want to be like that person because I have this pocket rocket, mid-20s, whatever, woman on my arm, and this is the reason why I'm such a, cool guy, whatever, etc. And and this is destructive. Like, I want to just basically make it, very clear. This is not high status behavior. In fact, I'm going to go one step further. It's grooming behavior. We've heard about grooming a lot in the school system, where people, teachers and administrators in schools primarily, they, groom young children to be different sexual orientations, and they take them away from their parents. They kind of, basically say whatever. This is grooming behavior. Bill Belichick is a 73-year-old man, and he's, predatorizing this, young, if that's even a word, this young 24-year-old woman to basically be his body girl, etc., his D girl. He's kind of just quoting around with her. And this should be called out as such. It's bizarre, it's creepy, it's weird, and beyond that, like, this is psychopathic behavior on both ends. And we all know this to be true. Like the fat activism thing, we all know that fat activism is garbage, right? Like, we all know it's stupid. We all know that all of the ideas that are coming out of the modern left, at least right now, and hopefully they get better, because I really don't want all of those ideas getting infected in our society. We know all of them are dumb. Like, we know that they're in disarray. Like, we know we're in serious trouble if those happen inside of our culture. We all know this on a gut level. The vast majority of people understand this. And by the way, this is coming off of a recent thing with going back to our friend Bill Belichick, or maybe not our friend Bill Belichick after this show, but Jordan Hudson is now being forced to be copied on all of his UNC emails. So basically, whenever his defensive coordinator, Bill Belichick's a defensive coach. He was the defensive coordinator under Parcells for a long time. So whenever a defensive coordinator apparently wants to send him a scheme on how to effectively counter the zone read, he is going to have to CC Jordan Hudson on this. Whenever his defensive backs coach is going to say, hey, when we run like a trips right, or when we're facing a trips right offense and they flare the tight end out to the left side and they flex the tight end about 5 yards from the left tackle, and we're going to run like a stick route on the opposite side, Jordan Hudson, apparently, this 24-year-old woman, is going to be copied on this correspondence between him and his defensive coordinator. So, like, this is bananas. This is crazy that this is happening. So what I want to ask here, and what I want to propose to all of these people that are backing all this up, is how is this any different from being a pimp or a porn producer or a seedy nightclub owner, where this really elder statesman gentleman, particularly elderly in Bill Belichick's case, is capitalizing and leveraging this this young woman who is really who has no value to a college football defensive coordinator, for one thing. But the other thing is, like, it's creepy. Like, it's very, very creepy, and it's not any different from being a pimp or a porn producer or a nightclub owner. It's not any different. And what I think this really alludes to at a deeper level is romance. And I think romance is something that's very debated now today. And I think we should have the debate. We should have the discussion. But what I think is really troubling about this is that romance is now being characterized as something that it's not. Because romance is not based on, status or, politics. It's a weird politics you're playing in your office or with your boys or whatever. Romance should be based on two things and two things only, in my opinion. And by the way, feel free to pillory me on this. I'm not experienced enough in this dynamic, I should say. But it should be based on shared values and a shared vision, not on a bizarre grip on power that serves to only appeal to, like, your lowest possible whims about all of these things. Like, this is not healthy behavior. It further enriches the powerful and promotes resentment among men and women, particularly younger men and women who get angry at these things. And maybe this makes me kind of like a spiteful person, whatever, but I don't think it does, because I want, romance to be romance. I don't want, people poisoning a very, very good thing with kind of this selfish, narcissistic, wild, behavior that just gets it just has no place in this discussion. It just has no place here.